What's up, Capoeira Nation? Welcome back to the part two of this episode. This is the second part of this really cool conversation with my friend Folha, Seca, and Caju, her husband. Caju, it was super fun and to keep sharing my capoeira experience and to be part of this interview, reverse interview. All right. Thank you so much for coming back. Thank you so much for keep following the podcast. Go listen and stay tuned for more episodes of the Amazing Capoeira Experience podcast. Yes. Thank you so much. Peace. We don't see those little things when you go to a concert. It's really bad music. I don't want to talk. I want to just turn around and leave. But when it's a really good music and everybody's like dancing and all that, you start moving the feet, you start like moving the head, and the energy starts moving you. And it's same thing happens in the heart. The exact same thing.
Yeah, that's right. So I sort of want to come out from this now and just ask. So I think you had 2 episodes maybe on the connections between capoeira and the orishas.
Oh yeah.
I mean, you have. I started to listen to more after your interview with me, and you have such a breadth of, you have such a diversity of topics, right, and capoeira experiences.
Yeah.
Like Benguela versus Banguela. You just have all of this stuff, how to take care of your body. You have all these different experiences of people, teachers in their different corners in the world, how they run class. And so this is going to be a hard question maybe, but
no.
Of all of those episodes, you don't have to say it's your favorite, but is there one that you would pull out that felt inspiring to you or that you still think about?
My conversation with Mestre Dan was very interesting because Mestre Dan and Mestre Cueca, because they unfortunately, and the capoeira community, nobody teaches how to teach, and sometimes I did it. I have done it, and I still do it. Try to figure out what I need to teach, and then my very first class, I step in front of the people. I have no idea what I'm gonna teach you. I don't know where to start. And then, but they break it down in such a amazing flow on be like, there's a science behind teaching, and teaching is also not for everybody, and not everybody is going to be an amazing teacher. But if you learn how to be a teacher, you can be a really good teacher. And then if you pay attention to the conversation with Mr. Cueca, Mr. Dan, how they grew capoeira in Israel, is extremely amazing how they grew non-Brazilian, and we, of course, with the help of capoeira and Brazilian mestres, but they created a system that I never seen before. And I'm pretty sure probably somebody have, and probably somebody already did and thought about it. But this is on the open eye. And when they were talking about, we created this system for people to be teachers, and we're not thinking on creating an army. We're thinking on teaching. I forgot the name of like generals or like something like that, and they are going to bring the army to us. And when they explained how they created all the system, I was very impressed. And until today's day, I think like, man, how I need to create a system for me to be able to, because at some point I need to have teachers for me to grow my capoeira community here. But how do I teach them how to teach? Like my wife, she's gonna be my next highest score, and I want her to start teaching. But how do I teach her what to teach so it looks the same like what I do? And after that question's in my head since that episode. I don't remember when it was, but I was like, man, what do I need to do? How can I put system in place for me to have like cookie cutters? Because I think that's how you call it, right? Cookie cutters. Mm-hmm. So because if you see all the capoeira in Israel, everybody plays amazing. Everybody plays they have this distinctive style, and it's because Mestre Dan and Mestre Cueca and all of them created that system is thousands of people doing capoeira now, and that system got capoeira where it is now in Israel, and it's amazing. I'm a very very big fan of them, and that I would say that was probably one of my number one. I probably went really long, but um,
Good.
but that's one of my favorite episodes. I don't know if I have a number one, but that's one of my favorite episodes for sure.
That's cool.
Yeah, yeah. There's music with Instructora Faísca that we talk about music, which is super important for us. There's many things. How to take care of your body with my wife. Their business, because as a teacher or and we don't see that neither behind the scenes, but if we have to have a system in place for us to actually have a school. If we don't have a school, if we don't have a business, if we don't see this as a business, it's gonna be hard for us to create an event. We're gonna always run out of money to make events. We're gonna run out of resources because we don't keep track of stuff, and then that's part of the business section, and it's a lot of little elements of a bunch of stuff on the podcast.
That's that's a theme I would say I hear throughout the podcast, is that interest of yours. And you ask so many different people some of those same questions around like, well, but tell me, how are you making your school work? Like, how's this working? I want to know, like, how do you plan your batisado? How are the finances? Are you planning ahead of time? And, the first couple of times I heard you ask about it, I thought, I wonder why he's asking about this. And then I realized like I wonder if this is true for you. If there's part of you that would like to make, like, that's maybe a dream of yours, is to be able to do capoeira as your job someday.
Yeah, you nail it.
And even if not, yeah.
And actually, I think I said on my first episode, I don't remember, or why I do this, I don't remember. But the main core reason why I did the podcast is because I wanted to grow my school. I want to have a good foundation for my school on many aspects, business and teaching, how to teach kids, how right? How to do this and how to do this. And I don't have all the answers. But I was like, who else has the answers but the capoeira community? So the capoeira community is going to help me grow and answer all these questions. At the same time, I'm pretty sure somebody out there is going to have the same question. So what I'm going to do is I keep it there. I keep the information there forever. Internet is not going to go away, at least not in the next year. And anybody can find the information there, and just have it there. Now you got to cruise through the whole 100 episodes for you to find the answer, but probably the answer is going to be there. And then if I have the question, I'm pretty sure somebody's going to have the question.
Yeah, I appreciate that about your voice. That's really consistent. It's like there's no you don't have a personal expectation of having to know all of the answers, and that's why you ask questions.
Yeah.
And like time after time in podcasts, you say like, wow, that's so cool. I didn't know that.
Yeah.
And there's this line that Malandro has in one of there's a double episode with him, and he said something like, forget exactly what he said about not knowing. If somebody has the information, there was always a time they didn't know it.
Oh,
right?
okay.
There's always a time that whatever information you're holding, you didn't have.
Yes.
Right.
Yeah.
And I love thinking about inquiry and curiosity and like finding information in that way.
Yeah, exactly. And also during these 8 years, I've been I love anything like personal growth and self-development, books and videos and all those kind of stuff. And one of the audiobooks, a guy says like, I don't remember which audiobook, but I'm a big fan of audiobooks. I have like 20, last time I count, 22 audiobooks. And I have one of the guys says like, you're sometimes we're not ready to listen some words. Sometimes if you listen to this audiobook 2-3 times, you probably are gonna find an information that you didn't find last week or last time you hear it. And if you hear it at the fourth time, you probably some words are gonna click on the first time you didn't hear it. So that's also why I also have everything recorded and the podcast online, so you can hear as many times as you want. And even for me, so sometimes I go through the podcast and be like, wait, I forgot what he said here. I'm just gonna go back and like Mr. Dan, I heard his conversation twice now. So I can, oh, so that's what he meant. Okay. And then that probably I didn't hear while talking to him. Is that way sometimes I'm talking and a different idea pops out. And so my brain is sometimes pay attention to many things at the same time.
And that's really cool because you're building this big historical record, right? Like if you try to look for history of capoeira, 30 years ago, it's much more limited than what we have now. And I mean, granted that there is so much information about capoeira anyway.
Yeah.
But I think these interviews, are really cool because you're building this record, and that's gonna be resource for the future, I think.
Yeah, totally.
So much like your Benguela versus Banguela conversation, and then you had somebody else also speak to it in a different episode. It's so much better than what you find on Reddit.
Yeah. Yeah. And also, like, you don't have to read it. You just, whenever you're cooking, and you can be like, oh, wait a minute, oh, that's what it is. Okay. And that you don't have to sit down, like, the older that we get, sometimes we get too busy, and then having kids and having a job, driving all over the place, you have the audio there and you can hear it anywhere, and it's free because on Spotify you don't have to have the premium to listen to, and any platform of is just free. It's just there for anyone to download it. And I appreciate you guys like appreciating the podcast, because that's my point too, to bring the information to everybody.
We also listen to on what is it? Pocket Cast?
Yeah, I mean, I use
cool.
Pocket Cast.
Yeah.
Oh, cool.
Do you have any? I have a couple more questions for you. So this, I mean, if you don't feel comfortable answering this one, please don't. So there are a couple of episodes, Kashishi, where I hear kind of an edge to your voice I'm so curious about, when you talk about how much you had to, I think you used the word defend, but like your love for capoeira, your time spent in capoeira when you were young.
Yes.
And I mean, I remember listening, there was one episode in particular, and I heard an edge to your voice, and I was wondering, like, it reminds me of when, it reminds me of a relationship that sometimes you find yourself in, where you have to defend your love for the other person.
Yeah.
And, so it made me pause. Anyway, and I wondered, like, if that's true for you, can you talk some about it?
Yeah.
Like, how does it inform your commitment to capoeira, your passion for it, wanting to spread the word? Yeah.
So when I started, like when I said at the beginning that my mom was a very, very harsh person, and then she was like, you at this time, you have to at this time, and she was very strict because she had to be the dad and the mom. At that time, I didn't understand that. And I was like, man, you're so against me. Teenager. At the end of the day, you're a teenager, we know everything when we're 15, right? And then my mom always was like, why you hanging out so much in capoeira? What you doing capoeira? And I guess I was, and I don't say this too much and to openly to capoeira, but I guess I found what I was missing, what I needed, because my mom was working all day, and my mom, when she got home, she just tired and she just want to go sleep. And we had that kind of like negative relationship, like a toxic relationship on being like, because she got 3 kids, 2 teenagers and one, all of us teenagers. And my brother, I have 2 siblings that they used to live with me. I have an older brother that's 10 and an older sister that's 5 years older than me. And when I was 15, my sister was stepping in her 20s and my brother was 25. So it was already, that's a big gap of a lot of complications and, hormones going on and a lot of stuff. And my mom had to take care of all the stuff. And now, as an older, I understand. But on that time, I wanted the attention a teenager wanted. day of having friends and find where you can fit and find who you are. And that was missing in my home. So, but I found in capoeira where I have friends, where I was having fun, and I always found that affection, I guess, if we can call it that way, from my friends in the capoeira community there. And that's, man, my mom always was like, capoeira is bad for you. Capoeira is bad for you. Why are you doing capoeira? Go find a job. You gotta go to school so you can retire and live off social security. It's like, mom, but I don't want to do that. I feel really happy with capoeira. Why do I have to give up something that is making me happy to satisfy you? Because you're the one that tell me to, that's something that you pursuing. No, I don't. That's not for me. And my mom was like, no, you got to do it. And that was for, man, I don't know, probably for my first 10 years of capoeira. And my very, very first time I was teaching a class that had a big opportunity in Venezuela of opening a school. But unfortunately, it didn't happen. And some issues happened with where I was about to teach. But I came really happy home, and I was like, Mom, guess what? I got this deal with capoeira. I'm going to be teaching. I'm going to be full-time. They're going to, I'm going to be making money with capoeira. That's not going to work. I was like, oh, Mom, come on. I just so happy sharing something that I want. And she was like, no, that's not going to work. Is that going to pay you Social Security? Is that enough money for you to retire? And is that going to pay? It's like, Mom, forget about it. I'm not going to tell you anymore. So, and then that was pretty much how I defend my capoeira, because that's my happy time, my me time, where I could be myself, where I was happy, where I had all my friends, where it just many things that helped me. And now today's days, my mom is like, I'm so proud of you. You doing capoeira so good. And it's funny. You're like, I don't mind, don't worry. So I love it too. And now as I old, I understand. Be like, she just wanted me to be safe, and she just wanted me to have a safe future. And now older, I understand. But her point of view wasn't for me, and because I'm I'm like copy and paste from my mom. We have exact same personalities. We think alike, and we crash like 100%. I don't know if that ever happened to you guys, but like when you are so alike of that person that you're like, why is this guy doing? The other day I was actually asking my wife. He's like, will you marry yourself? If you find yourself, he's like, I'm yourself. Will you marry yourself? She was like, probably. And she asked me, will you? I was like, nope. Totally no, will marry myself. I wouldn't know marry. Like if you are like me, I wouldn't marry you. Because we will crash all the time, and it's just like it wouldn't happen. But that's pretty much how I defend this, what I love. And it's sometimes I wish you can plug somebody to your feelings, so you can be like, this is what I feel about this, whatever it is, right? And they can feel that emotion and be like, oh, okay, I understand now. But of course, that's why I have the podcast, so I can send that through my voice and be like, hey, this why I do what I do.
Yeah, that's cool.
Yeah. Thank you.
Do you have any more questions?
Mm-hmm. Go ahead.
Okay, I just have a couple more questions.
Yeah, of course. Yeah, okay. Of course.
So this is a bit of a detour, and I'm curious. I want to ask you, because this has been so true for me at different points in my love affair with capoeira, and I know it's been true for my fellow practitioners, my students. Not everyone, but certainly for some, intimidation of the halda.
Yeah.
And so I'm wondering about that. Like, have you ever been intimidated by the halda? And
all the time.
okay, so then I think, like, what do I tell people? Like, what do I tell myself? And then what do I tell others? So what do you do?
It's hard, because I actually, Colorida, my student, the one that you met, I think she asked me one time, and she was like, she's probably gonna listen to this episode. She was like, oh my gosh, he said my name. But
I loved your episode, Colorida.
I know she was so nervous, but it's fine. It's fine. I know Colorida. I know you listening, but uh, I it's hard because I get nervous all the time, and I was telling her, I was like, do you ever, she asked me, do you ever get nervous going to the hot? I was like, every single time. But because I'm already comfortable with that nervousness, I just go. And especially when I see somebody that is higher level than me, and the first thing I think is like, I don't want to get kicked on the face. I don't want to bleed. So arms up, elbows up, so I can cover my jinga. But that all the time, and I don't know, I guess probably practice. And the like when you drive, right? I was telling actually today, the first time you drive, I was shaking a lot, and I was like super nervous. And the first time I got in the highway, I was very, very nervous. But then now, you can do multitask while you drive, and it gets easier with time. You just get used to it, and it's it gets better with time. It gets better with time, and it's just about jumping and swimming with the sharks.
And I know, can I piggyback on that?
Yeah.
What is how is the harder for you a learning space? How much of it? I mean, can you say something about your experiences of learning while playing the hard? Not only playing, I mean, watching as well, but also, I guess, mostly playing. Like you said something like, oh, when you're expired, you realize, oh, I did something that I didn't think I could do, or you. Yeah,
That's a great question.
Yeah, it is. It is a good question, and that's a good question. I don't know. I don't know. I'm a very observant person. I like to watch. I like to see. When I enter in a room, I scan everybody and see. I guess probably like in Brazil, right? Because you're originally from Brazil. And when did you move to the US?
Oh, when?
Yeah.
In 2000.
So it's so 20 years now here, right?
Mm-hmm.
So and how old were you when you moved here?
I was 30.
So you had already 30 years of experience in Brazil, right? So is and when we grew up, we have to have 10 eyes, right? Because
right.
you gotta watch everywhere, because you never know what is coming. And or what is coming or who is coming. So you always got to keep your eyes open, and you got to absorb from your environment as much as you can in a very quick time. So it's when I go in the Hada and I see people playing, you many times are gonna see me like dodging for them because I'm watching the game, and I get engaged in the game, and flows, the connection. I can see who's playing by himself or themselves, or who's playing together, and who's having actually a flow, or who's just playing solo and play solo on the other side, or who's showing off, or who's aggressive and who wants to be aggressive. So it's even with beginners you can learn from beginners game, and you can be like, oh man, this is really cool. You can see personalities there, and the person's pretty passive. Oh, this person's pretty aggressive. I gotta chill a little bit. This
You sure can.
Yeah, and then you can be like, oh, these games are really cool, and that's why I love recording my hadas. And whenever I can, I try to record the hadas because I can rewatch those games, and I can rewatch my own game and be like, oh man, I messed it up again. I don't like what I did here. And I get judgmental with myself on the positive side of judgment, and be like, oh man, I gotta change this. I see my habit here. So it's like, oh, that's a bad timing. I gotta change this. And just learning those little habits on timing, and on habits, and slow, or going the wrong direction, or dodging the wrong direction. All those little details is I learned from watching and playing too.
That's cool.
That's cool.
Yeah. Yeah.
Kashishi, what's the style of capoeira that most resonates with you? Is it the style of capoeira you play, or is it a different one, or has it evolved?
It changed when I switched to Capoeira Brazil. The old school Capoeira Brazil, it was very, very unique to my eye. And because he was very engaged. It was very like, I remember one time my instructor back in Venezuela, my Capoeira Brazil instructor, which he was my friend. We went to bed, I don't know, probably like 4 a.m. just watching videos. And he was like, man, look at this game, look at this guy. And he was like, oh, wait a minute, look what he's gonna do here. And blew my mind because he was from backflip going to Vengachiva. And then he was like from this movement going to a takedown. And then he told me, he was teaching me, Mr. Paulão, one of the founders of Capoeira Brazil. He always taught us in class, he told me that you have to think as soon as you get from the backflip, what opportunities you have. Like as you go in the backflip, watch the game and see what opportunities you have there. And that sticked with me and be like, oh man, I never thought about that. And then that's very Mr. Paulão, Mr. Paulinho's style of teaching. And you have to find the opportunity as soon as you can. And of course, without hurting the person. But if you can get it, good. If you miss the opportunity, move on and find the next. But it's always inside the game and adding florellos and doing anything. And it's very distinctive style that I really, really like, especially Fortaleza, Capoeira in Fortaleza, Capoeira Brazil in Fortaleza is really high level, man. High level. Yeah. If you guys go to Fortaleza, you guys definitely like visit all the groups there. Everybody there is really, really nice.
I don't know if we'll be going. We're going to we're probably going to Teresina. We in December. Finally.
Oh yeah. Have you guys met Mestre Toro?
No, I have not met him.
No, his capoeira is really cool. I really, really like his capoeira. He's singing. He's the first time I met him, I was scared of him. he's a big dude and strong, and he just go for the kick, and he doesn't hold back. He just go, and he's scary seeing a big ass dude trying to like kick you. He's intimidating sometimes.
Yeah.
So Kashishi, I'm sure all of Capoeira Nation wants to know what's the best advice you have heard on your podcast since you've asked the question about 100 times.
Yeah. The advice of Mestre Ferradura, where he says unity is what keeps us together. You know, we cannot survive, or we cannot make capoeira grow without the capoeira community. We need the capoeira community. And we are the capoeira community, and we gotta forget logos, we gotta forget styles, we gotta forget nationalities, we gotta forget all the stuff. We gotta remember about capoeira and practice capoeira and be there for capoeira.
Excellent. So I was gonna ask you what is your advice for Capoeira Nation, but maybe you would say that is it.
Yeah, I think so. And I think we need to support each other a little bit more, on the sense of traveling each other. You know, is sometimes people take a little bit harsh, but you know, is one. I just, yes, there's support, but I think we can do better. We can do more. And when I met you at the event before I left, I was like, you know, like here in the Midwest, we have a lot of capoeiristas, a lot of schools. Yes, we're a little bit far. We have probably 5 hours, probably 5.5 hours drive. But if each teacher, each instructor bring to each school 5-10 students, man, we can have huge capoeira events. And if it's 5 school and each of us bring 10 people, that's already 50 people there. And 50 students, if we encourage our students to travel and just go support the capoeira community. So, and because we need that, you know, is again, those enslaved that created capoeira. Enemy tribes. They wanted to kill each other before, but now they changed and they want to be free and they need to be free and they desire to be free. Bro, you're gonna kill me or I kill you. You know, let's break free first. let's help each other to get out of here. And that's who we are, and that we need to encourage and how you call this, bring down more, you know, and that's why I like traveling, because I'm a big believer of I'm gonna do what I say, and I'm not gonna tell somebody to do something that I wouldn't do. So if you're gonna travel, it's because you're gonna see me traveling. If I tell you, you know, support the capoeira community, it's because I'm gonna be there. And if we meet somewhere in an event, let's take a lot of pictures, let's have a conversation, and let's talk and let's play in the hoda.
That's cool.
Yeah.
Excellent. Well, thank you so much.
Yeah.
Thank you
Thank
for
you.
allowing
Thank you, guys.
Thank you for
I
letting
mean,
me barge in here.
Thank you,
Yeah.
guys. It was fun. It's cool to. I never got the experience of being interviewed on my own show.
Well, there you go. Yeah. And I invite other listeners, whether you've been interviewed by Kashishi or not, if you're interested in interviewing him in the future, reach out. Also make sure that you follow him and share this podcast. You can find him on Spotify, on Pocket Cast.
Any platform. Caju, what is your advice for the capoeira community? What do you think?
I'll let you go first, Caju. I just answered this question a couple of months ago.
No, I think this what you said of more integration and participation is very important, really, to be that. And my particular take on it is with capoeira is that I really appreciate the physical aspect of it, but also the other cultural aspects. You know, both the musicality. You know, in the case of in my case, perhaps because I'm from Brazil, I hear so much in capoeira of other types of Brazilian music, other cultural aspects. So this awareness for me is amazing. Like this once in a while you listening to a samba or and you hear something that's exactly what we do in capoeira in this moment.
I know, dude.
This like little jewels that
I
this
know.
awareness. Yeah. I think for me it enriches the experience a lot.
Yeah. Nice.
He'll often stop me, like when I'm cooking or something. He'll be playing something and he'll be like, "Listen to this. Do you hear how this samba is like capoeira? Can you hear the beating bow here?"
Nice. That's very cool. Do you have like a Brazilian music playlist that you can share? Will you send that to me?
Oh yeah, definitely.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. A playlist like a nice mix of all kind of capoeira music, hip hop and all those kind of stuff. Pagode, forró, all those kind of stuff. Yeah.
Always listening to music.
And I just like really quick, and I don't know if you can edit this later, but there is a Brazilian composer of sambas that's called Paulo César Pinheiro.
Okay.
And he has an album, and I think the name of the album is Capoeira de Besouro, which are sambas, but each samba is based on a toque de berimbau.
Oh,
so
cool.
It's like toque de benguela, toque de São Bento Pequeno, São Bento Grande, tem que chama jogo de dentro, and cavalaria. But these are, there is berimbau on that, but there is also drums, there's guitar.
Oh man, really I want to listen to that.
CD,
That's pretty cool. How do you feel that now as a Brazilian? How long have you been doing capoeira now?
Oh, just not long.
6 years.
6 years, maybe.
6 years. How do you feel the foreigners they been doing capoeira longer than you, or as a Brazilian expression? You know what I mean? Like as a Brazilian expression to see other people doing capoeira and appreciating that capoeira. Mm-hmm. How is that?
I mean, it's great to see. I mean, I should say I never did capoeira when I lived in Brazil. So I kind of like, I knew about it. I loved samba and other types of music, but I never practiced
Yeah.
the capoeira. And it's really amazing to discover a lot of people who are not Brazilians who know so much about both the Brazilian culture and capoeira and music. You know, it's that's actually a question that I had for you earlier. I never asked it, but it's like, so every song we sing in capoeira is sang in Portuguese.
Yeah. Yeah.
And, like, being a native speaker, and I have this kind of advantage because I can hear something and it resonates with some aspect of life or musicality in Brazil that people who are not, it's hard for them to have
Yeah.
that. But it's really amazing to see that how many people, engage into the music and in learning.
Yeah.
And eventually, and I know some people who have this, can make these connections. It's really fascinating,
It's really cool to see. And also, I remember one time I heard somebody, and I'm not gonna call names, but one time I heard a guy being like, "Hey, like, I don't want to learn from this guy because this guy is not Brazilian." I was like, "Excuse me," and because I was like, "It's like, man, there's so much amazing capoeiristas out there that they're no Brazilians, and
Yes.
and amazing capoeiristas, and that they have a lot more knowledge that the teachers that have been doing, the Brazilians, the they're Brazilians, and again, not trying there on anybody, but it's just like everybody has so much knowledge, anybody, and we don't have to be from Brazil to appreciate this, and because this is such a rich culture, and people's culture, and it's just like the appreciation of people, and on a pure element, which is capoeira, and bringing everybody together in one pot and just mixing everybody there, which is really cool.
Definitely.
Yeah. Yeah. What are you for La Seca? Yeah. Sorry. Go ahead.
So for your experience, how important is, as part of, your capoeira experience, like anyone's capoeira experience, how important for you do you think it is engaging in learning the music and and playing the instruments? And because, like, my experience has been also that I've known capoeiristas who are physically play very well,
Yeah.
but don't necessarily play the instruments.
True. Yeah.
Correctly. Other people who are beginners who are really super interested in learning.
Yes. Yeah.
So there are different levels of engagement to that aspect of capoeira.
Yeah.
So
Totally.
I just want to hear your opinion about, if your thoughts on that.
Yeah, I think capoeira is everything is important in capoeira, even the music. If we don't have to be musicians to practice this, and if at least people can understand the basic of berimbau and tabaque, pandero, you don't have to be an expert and play every single toque and do all the combinations in the berimbau, but if you understand what the ritual of the berimbau means, what is the job of the gonga made in viola, which instrument enters first, and at least the basic toques, the three basic toques, and that way, that's another contribution in your hada, your own hada, and you can find there's so much material out there to practice and to teach and to get involved in the capoeira music. I think it's important for us to learn it. Again, you don't have to be, Justin Bieber of capoeira, but you can be, you can practice at least the basics of capoeira, so you can understand what is happening and pass that energy, and even the claps, palma de bimba, palma de terreiro, and then understand how that works, and I think it's important.
Mm-hmm. And I mean, like, if I can add to what you said,
Of course.
it's so it's so perceptive in the roda how much difference good music and good energy that comes with music makes to the roda, right?
Oh
Like,
yeah, totally.
You don't even need to be singing in tune, but as long as there is energy on that thing,
Yeah.
the games evolve in a completely different way.
Yes.
You know.
Yeah, isn't it crazy how that works? That the everything is connected. Like all of us are connected to the players, and the players are connected to us, and the music is connected to everybody. It's just like everybody's there together, and is that's a perfect example of community. Ahada, like everybody's together at the moment.
There's this student in our group, Tanya. She was at the Bachisadu. She actually sang in Bateria Laranja. Anyway, there have been times where she'll sing a song and she'll be at the bateria and I'll have like just left or something. And I'll hear her sing and I just feel like, oh, I want to get in the halda.
Oh, nice.
That, right? Like there are just times that, or you see somebody and the energy feels good. You see somebody else, like, I really want to play them. Like, let's get in there, you know?
Yeah. That's pretty cool. It feels really good to see, to be part of that when somebody's singing and you just close your eyes, just like, oh man, I just want to play.
Yeah.
That's
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, thank you guys. Thank you. That was awesome. That was pretty cool.
Thank you so
Thank
much.
you.
Yeah. Thank you. Anything
All
else?
right. Well, make sure you follow this. Make sure you follow Capoeira Experience podcast and pass it on. Pass it on.
Yeah. Totally. Yeah.
Choose an episode and pass it around your Capoeira group and talk about it like you would a book club. You know.
Yeah.
Oh, true. Yeah. That's pretty cool.
Shoot, Malandro has a couple of episodes that are so good, or Kashishi has with Malandro. You could choose those and talk about them.
Yeah. There's a pretty cool information. It's a lot of really cool information there. Yeah. Oh, thank you so much, guys, and let's keep in touch.
Right, thank you.
See you guys next time. Okay.
Okay, sounds
See
good.
you.
Bye.
Ciao.
Thank you so much for listening. Thank you so much for getting this far. Remember, please subscribe, give us a thumbs up on Facebook or YouTube. Please subscribe to the YouTube channel. This is going to help us and help me to get bigger numbers and bigger subscribers so we can give more information. Okay, please, if you're listening, I know you're listening, I know you're watching, please give me a subscribe, give me a like. Okay, I know you're watching right here or listening. All right, have an amazing day. Thank you so much for tuning in and listening every single episode, especially the episode we just did. All right, thank you so much. Peace.
Thank you.